God gave me my daily bread, so I decided to eat it while watching a movie, and I chose the movie To Be a Friend by Bimbo Ademoye. And it was cool, but I will need some explanation for this part over here.
Yeah. Tell me what happened here. I should be asking you.
We'll get to that. Also, somebody explain to me what love means in Nigeria, because what is this?
No now, Tega, no now. That girl loves you. You bought this girl a diamond necklace. She sent you a photo wearing the diamond necklace. If that is not love, I don't know what is love.
If that is love, I don't want it. Well, buying an expensive gift for somebody, the person taking a picture with the gifts is supposed to be love. In this conversation, he's talking about marrying the girl, by the way, and this is the reason the guy gave. By the way, there'll be spoilers in this video, so be warned if you haven't watched the movie yet. So the movie follows the guy called Tega, and it starts with him in prison.
I know you're wondering how I got here, a place that I do not belong.
I wasn't wondering, actually. It's the beginning of the movie, so I don't know. Maybe you deserve to be there. I don't know. So then they go back to Tega's days in university, and this is where we meet his best friend, Tunde. Now, Tunde is the same guy who gave the worst description of love ever. That guy. And Tunde is described as a guy who had everything, right? He was the guy in school. He could play football very well.
That guy. That's not me. That's my best friend, Tunde.
That was a clean free kick. Whoever played that kick on set has a future. Not in football, because of where they were born, but they have a future, like in general, like they have a tomorrow. Then we meet Folashade, who is very, very important to the story because she's the main love interest. Tega is in love with her, but she cannot see him at all. Tega is invisible to her, but the one she can see very well is Tunde, Tega's best friend. So you can already see the triangle starting to form. And this is disrespectful because you can't say you don't know the guy you like's best friend. Like, Tega is Tunde's best friend, and if she likes Tunde, then it means she knows who Tega is because she'll see them hanging around. So this is disrespect. Okay, this is not good. Me personally, I wouldn't take it lightly at all, but this will never happen to me, so we thank God. So far, what we know about Tega is that his whole life revolves around his best friend. His best friend is the man, you know, gets all the girls, he can play football, all that stuff. And you know, a main character like this is supposed to evoke some kind of emotion in the viewer and people who have a similar story. So if you felt seen by Tega in this movie, you need to ask yourself some questions about your own life, okay? Because you might be a loser. If you can relate and you feel like you're telling your story, you need to make some changes in your life, bro. You can't keep living like this. This is not life, bro. No, you can't be doing this. Now, Tunde is portrayed as the perfect friend, like very, very perfect. He helps his friends in so many ways. In this scene over here where the guy was sick, I thought Tunde was going to go over there and say, rise up in the name of Jesus, and then the guy rise up. Like, that's how perfect the guy is supposed to be. I thought he had healing powers. But then we find out that he's not very perfect. In fact, maybe very, very, very imperfect. The kind that would sleep with another guy's girlfriend because of a bet.
This idiot here, he made a bet on Abdul's baby and slept with her.
See this guy, and he finds it funny.
No, Tunde cannot do something like that now.
Ask him now, ask him.
Tunde, did you do it?
And he finds it funny.
Which, let's be honest, makes him the perfect guy to most girls in the university environment. They like this kind of guys. So Tega is a loser, poor pushover who is supposed to be relatable to some people. And Tunde is an asshole and a narcissist who asks his best friend for their shirt because his own shirt doesn't look nice. And still, Tega sees him as a good person. And this is something that is real, actually. Something that happens in real life. Most people who are in bad relationships, they can't tell that they can't see that the other person is doing them bad. The other person is perfect to them because of some help they are getting. It's mostly money. So while in school, they spoke about starting a company together, Tega and Tunde. So they finished school, and 10 years later, Tega is successful because he started a tech company and he's like a big boy, you know, in the software business. But even after 10 years, Tega is not happy because he can't find his best friend. 10 years is a long time for you to move on from a relationship like that. But the friendship was deeper than normal for him. So finally, he finds his friend, and it turns out his friend who used to be the man is now very poor. He doesn't have any money, so you know he doesn't have any girls because he later described love as taking a picture with a diamond ring. So since he can't afford a diamond ring over there, definitely doesn't have any love in his life. Now, Tega, being a good friend, or in my opinion, a stupid friend, decided to bring his friend into the company and make him the COO of the company, like right there. And that was his big mistake. Then around the same time, Tega meets Folashade, his crush from way back in school, who did not even see him.
It's me, Tega, Tunde Faniro's friend from uni.
Yes.
And then she starts jabbing him little by little, reminding him of how he was a loser in school and how who would have thought that the guy who was this and all that stuff. Again, I wouldn't stand for that. I'll insult you and leave. What do you mean?
The nerdy guy from school whose best friend was the hottest guy in school.
Yeah.
Wow. Who would have thought?
She realizes he's rich and starts screaming. You know how this goes. Now, every character needs a goal and they need a flaw. They need a flaw that will keep giving them, that will keep leading them in the wrong direction and creating internal conflict that will create conflict for the story, right? Now, Tega's flaw, how do I say this? Tega's goal in the story is his flaw. His past was so bad that he wanted to create the life he wished he had in the past. So he was a loser, so he went and got rich. Now he's the center of attention. He deeply loves his best friend, so he went and found the best friend and brought him into the company and made the best friend rich. And he's still deeply in love with his university crush after 10 years. And so, like, when he meets her, he wants to marry her after 2 months. He's at work with his friend and he's staring at her picture so much that he cannot hear his friend. That is not a nice, that's sickness, okay? That I don't, like, in the movies, these things are supposed to look romantic, but, like, a lot of romantic gestures in movies are mental illness. That's just the truth. I can make another video about that. He married her, she got pregnant, and then they said she...
Fola traveled abroad to have the baby.
Traveled abroad to go and have the baby. Is this something people do? Am I poor? Okay, anyway. So, this is where things start to get a little bit confusing. Or this is where things start leading to the confusing part. So, they're having issues in their marriage because he's working too hard. He's trying to make money or whatever. He does this big event on their anniversary, I think, to celebrate his wife. And over there, we learn that there's an employee who secretly has a crush on Tega.
But I know you like Oga Tega right from the day you joined CJ Solutions. This would have been you if you were brave enough to shoot your shot earlier.
But that doesn't go anywhere. That story doesn't go anywhere. Nothing really comes out of it. They tried to, like, bring her back at the end, but it didn't contribute to the story in any major way. She was just there. So they go home. He promises to take her on a world tour. They'll travel here and travel there because, you know, he wants to make up for the fact that he is not around most of the time. And this is one of my favorite scenes.
The Tesla pitch deck meeting has been moved up. It's happening on Monday. So you need to be on the flight to Ireland by 3 p.m. tomorrow.
What?
I like this scene because I like it when movies they create the conflict immediately. You know, like, he promises her something and then he's confronted with a situation where now he has to make a big decision, and that internal conflict. I like that. I like it when they do that. Bimbo Ademoye did it in her other movie, Here Comes the Bride, which I made a video about. Check it out to come over here, to come at the top over here. I think you can start the world tour in Ireland. You go there with her, you do the work, and then you continue to other countries. I don't see why that couldn't be done, but this part over here, right, everything was going well, right? And then this call happens. And then now I'm a little bit confused because this call creates the fight between them that then leads to everything going wrong, which is that they have a fight and then Folashade dies.
Mr. Tega, we received a report about a disturbance in this building. You need to come with us to the station immediately. Mr. Tega, please don't make this difficult. I said don't move.
You did not say don't move. This arrest is weird. Like, this is something in Nollywood YouTube movies where whenever somebody has to play like a professional, like a policeman, a doctor, or a pharmacist, they always don't do it well. Or it's always weird. Or they're weirdly robotic. Like, if they're supposed to play maybe an accountant or somebody at the office, they're always robotic and then, like, very, very rigid in the scenes, or they do it weird. If you watch these movies, you know what I'm talking about. The best example is these guys in Better Half. I made a video about Better Half to check it out to come at the top over here. So Folashade dies. And Tega is blank. He doesn't remember what happened on the night, but there's blood on his shirt. And the police find out, or they claim to find out, that the blood belongs to Folashade. And so they are arresting him for murder.
Forensic reports were expedited because of the required urgency. They just arrived, and the blood stains on your shirt have been identified as your wife's.
What?
We are placing you under arrest on the suspicion of murder of Mrs. Folashade Obaru.
So that's how he found himself in prison. Now, don't forget how the whole thing began. The phone call caused the fight, and then the girl is dead. Don't forget. So he goes to prison, and there he meets Odogu. And this was the best part of the film. The prison scenes with UZOR, the best part of the film. He played the role so well. It was funny. Like, I would watch a comedy show like this.
Oh, but my life they pay me, oh. If I don't give me bed, I go fed for you, oh. I beg. And like this, and Gadus go share food this afternoon. Which one say Gadus? Which one say Gadus go to share food? Mom, you don't say like they pay you. Aish.
I'll definitely watch a comedy series with Rugged and Tega where Rugged is trying to teach Tega how to navigate prison life while they, try to get a hearing. So Tega is saying he did not kill Fola. So who killed Fola? And now his friend Tunde has become bad. He's taking money from the company and sending it into a different account and all kinds of things are going on. So it turns out Fola is not actually dead. That's the big twist in the movie.
Papa, who are you talking to?
Fola. And that creates quite a hole in the movie because we find out that Tunde and Fola were the ones who plotted and framed Tega so that they can send him away so that they can be together. She was tired of the marriage with Tega because he was working too hard and she wasn't seeing him. And so Tunde decided to give her a shoulder to cry on and Ekpenis to hold. And it makes sense because she has tasted it before when they were in uni, so she has the hunger. But how did they achieve that? How did they fake her death? Did the police just arrest the guy and put him behind bars without seeing a body? If she's missing, if they can't find a body, then maybe kidnapping makes more sense. So they explained how they did it with flashbacks. Tunde gave her something to put in his drink and then she poured blood on his shirt. Is the police corrupt? Did they pay? So I was thinking okay, maybe they paid off the police and they are all corrupt, right? But then at the end, the same detective comes to arrest Tunde. So he wasn't in on it. So how did it happen? I think they were inspired by How to Get Away with Murder. In that show, they'll have a crime happen, but you will see what happened on the crime scene. Then as the show goes on, you see what happens on the crime scene. But it left a lot of questions because a lot of the things wouldn't make sense in a real way. Like, the woman has faked her death, but she's still in Nigeria. Does she not go out? Okay, I think they mentioned that she said she's tired of going out and covering her face and all that stuff. But then, for a woman who is hiding from the world, who has faked her death, in this scene, she casually walks to the door and just opens the door without knowing who is at the door. Is she hiding from the world or not? So then Tunde gives his character speech where he's like, the company was my idea, you took my idea, now people like you and they don't like me, all that crap, which...
I'm your best friend, yet you stole my idea. The idea that led to the success of that company.
It makes sense. There are people like this. Yeah, and he is a bad guy. From the beginning, he's a guy who gets what he wants, which means that he pushes other people over and he's a bully, right? So that makes sense why he would have that sentiment. But I think the way they went about getting the guy out of the picture was a bit much. Faking the woman's death is a bit much. And then again, when you start thinking about it in a way it would happen because this movie is set, this cinematic universe is set in the real world. And in the real world, a lot of these things wouldn't work. The police, the guy going to jail without them seeing the body, that wouldn't work. Only if Tunde paid off the entire police system to send the guy away, which is possible in Nigeria, I hear. But then he didn't because the same detective comes back to arrest him. So yeah, that was my issue with the film. And it's a common theme in Nollywood YouTube films. They have an event that doesn't quite come together. The puzzle pieces don't quite come together very well. In Better Half, it had the same issue. It just didn't quite fit together. Some of the things, why would she marry a guy on the phone when she hasn't met him? The guy proposed to her. This is not about Better Half. But one of the reasons why I liked Here Comes the Bride was the fact that a lot of the puzzle pieces made sense, but then to the end, that movie had its own issues. Watch my video on it. Other than that, everything else was cool. It was cool. It was a cool watch. Yeah, shout outs to them for the movie. And again, I would watch a show with Rugged and Tega in prison. I would watch that show. They should make a comedy movie like that. UZOR played Arukwe, kill that role. That guy is good, man. That guy is good. He's good in these movies. So yeah, if you watch it, let me know what you think. If you haven't watched it, let me know what you think. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Like the video. If you want to see more of my videos on your timeline, it's a timeline like we are on TikTok. I guess it's a timeline. Yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.